You do not have to play hyper aggressive to be good at Escape from Tarkov. I know it's one of the most utilized strategies, and it's, to be honest, probably one of the best strategies given the way the game is set up right now. And I know we like to oftentimes put people in the chat or the rat bucket and talk about other people's playstyle, but the reality is most of us fall somewhere in between depending on the situation. Some of the most aggressive people that you can watch or see play will oftentimes slow down to try to get some audio information before they make their move. And a lot of the people that we would call rats might have just been people that just arrived at that location and heard you barreling down a hallway, stopped, and killed you when you came around a corner. In this episode of Teaching Tactics, we're going to take a look at a fight that I got into on Interchange that ended up lasting a really long time, that I played really slowly, but methodically and with a lot of purpose. And because of that, I ended up on top without having to basically just shift W through a door. I'm Jessekazam. Welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. If you like this video, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel for more content like this. I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say hey. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so this is definitely a longer fight, a lot longer than the clips I normally show in these videos. So instead of just watching the clip back completely, I'm gonna like fast forward through spots. I'm gonna try not to cut anything out because I want you to see the movement and exactly how I chose to move through the map for this specific fight, and then we'll come back at the end and talk about it. We're on Interchange here. I'm with a duo. He gets killed almost immediately, and I know I'm outnumbered, so I try to take this fight as carefully as I can. So let's go ahead and check it out.
Guy crossing left to right.
Oh, yep.
Is him?
Yep.
He saw me and killed me.
No way. So they moved up then.
Ты куда пошел? Вон он, сука! Вали!
Come on. Oh. Please tell me I naded this dude. Oh my god, I naded this dude. So, of course, there is a lot to unpack here. There's a lot going on. Like we said, a really long fight, and I played really slowly. And we ended up talking about this after on stream about how, like, man, I felt like such a, quote unquote rat there. But at the same time, I felt like everything I was doing had so much like motivation and intentionality behind it. And I was able to just use my strength of being a solo player, being quiet, knowing that everybody's an enemy, and work against them, which is that they think that I'm going to be hanging around my buddy's body. And so I think there's some key differences here. The quote unquote rat play style, which play however you want, but a lot of times what we expect is we expect people to just be holding their friend's body. We expect them to just be laying down, holding the body, waiting for somebody to come loot to get the M61 headshot or whatever. But what happened is it's me and my buddy. My buddy gets dropped, and we see that it's a two-man. They hit an amazing shot on my friend, and interchange is not my most comfortable map. So what I wanted to use is my knowledge, the knowledge I do have of the map, as my strength, as opposed to just like peeking corners and just thinking I can win a fight out in the open in interchange when it's hard to see and stuff like that. So what I do is I immediately go for a really long flank. I take the back hallway and I go all the way around. And a lot of times I do play overly cautious, like I slow creep a lot longer than I need to. It's always weird. It's always stressful with audio. You always think somebody can hear you maybe farther away than they really can. So I am a little overly cautious, but the plan is to make this big long flank, get around to the side of them. If they're holding my friend's body because they think I'm holding my friend's body and they want me to come loot and I want them to come loot, then nothing is really going to happen. So we commit to this kind of like long flank. And during this time, I'm listening. I'm listening for any sort of audio. And I start to hear the audio of scavs getting in fights with these guys. And that tells me right about here that they have moved up along the front of Ollie here, more towards my friend's body. And they are basically looking for me. They want this fight. They know it was two. They saw two of us. So they're not just going for a quick loot and scoot. They want this fight. So they're hanging out. They're moving up. I'm starting to hear scavs shoot. And every time I hear a scav shoot, that gives me a little bit more information on where they are. I see a scav right here. He looks like he is aggroed on somebody. So we just kind of keep moving up towards the front. We're basically doing a huge circle now. We did a flank to where I thought they would be. They've moved up to where my friend's body is, and I'm moving slowly. Once again, I'm probably playing a little too slow here because the scavs are moving around. They're moving around. As a solo player, when I know that there's two of them and there's scavs around, I probably am afforded a little bit more grace when it comes to making noise. I probably could have been walking, but it's stressful. Tarkov fights are intense, so you never know. So we just keep slow creeping up. We keep positioning. At this point, I'm really hearing them jump around, and I'm waiting for one to kind of swing a corner on me. I'm trying to keep moving. We see another scav that's aggroed on somebody clearly, so we know they're in this corner. We're just kind of boxing them in. The downside here is that the visibility on interchange is insanely low. It's really hard for me to see. It's really hard for me to figure out where they are. So I kind of don't want to get caught with my pants down, but at the same time, I want to continue to move up because if they don't push out to me, then I don't want to just basically let them take my buddy's loot and then leave. So we just keep getting closer. And then, you can see this visibility. It's extremely hard. I think the guy ended up being up on the boxes here or something. They're running around. My buddy's body is out in the open. It's really hard. So I'm trying to just creep up as slowly as possible. And I end up getting engaged on, and then my plan, it feels like it's all for nothing. My plan is foiled. I get shot at, and we basically immediately switch to the aggressive mode, to the 911 mode. And this is a lot of what I'm talking about, where it's play slow where you need to play slow, play quick where you need to play quick. It's not a bad thing to have a plan to play slow and meticulous and methodical and try to move up on somebody. But, that guy saw me or somebody saw me, and you have to flick the switch. So now we're in full aggro mode. I'm throwing nades over. I'm making a lot of noise. I'm shooting it where I think they are. It's just completely flipped that switch. Now, it's crazy that I ended up getting a really lucky nade. I don't know if it was the first one or if it was this one, but we get the lucky nade on the guy, and we were not going to know this for a really long time. But at this point, what I'm doing is deciding whether I want to switch it to full aggro mode and just turn on the flashlight and peek the corner and 1v2 these guys, or if I want to do this again. And I decided to do it again. I'm trying to play to my strengths as a player. I'm not a guy that's really good at 1v2ing people who are really familiar with this map in the dark. So I think I can do it again. And I think I can do it again because I did it successfully the first time. We make the first flank, and they weren't really expecting me to come from that direction. I was just out in the open a little bit too much, and they spotted me. So we basically walk it back completely back down this hall. Once again, probably a little too cautious, a little too slow and steady, but it worked. We end up coming up to this door, and there's no better feeling than opening a door and having your enemy face the other way. Boom. This is a great feeling to know that you have gotten the drop on your enemy, to know that your flank was successful. We end up dropping this guy, moving up, finding out that we naded the other body, and boom, we actually ended up finding they had looted my buddy and ditched his loot as well. So I wanted to break down this fight because I think it's important. I think the whole Chad and Rat thing, like I get it and it's funny and it's a meme, but at the same time, like we talked about this after on stream where it almost felt weird to play this slow, but at the same time, I didn't feel like I was camping a body or camping anything. I was just using the information I had and trying to use my strengths as a solo player that can slip in and out of places, that can move around, my map knowledge to my advantage, and it worked. I think one of the key things that can lead to success in Escape from Tarkov is just not playing the way your enemy wants you to play. And if you start to think about that, you will see that happen so much more often than you think, that people will run around a corner and they'll want you to push, they'll do something and they want you to pre-fire so you waste your ammo, they want you to reload. They wanted me to be camping the body because they felt proficient at moving up and throwing grenades and peeking corners and getting me. And all I was doing was making sure I wasn't doing what they thought. Even when it came to this point where I ended up getting into a fight with these guys and I'm throwing the grenades, this guy probably wants me to push because he's probably better than me. This guy is probably better than me at the straight 1v1 80 strafe. He would probably get the best of me. So I didn't want to play the way he wanted me to play. I wanted to make another flank. I wanted to be quiet. I wanted to be slow. So I don't know. I thought it was an important video to make to break down this video, that the playstyle, and I feel like the playstyle that Tarkov really wants to push us towards is more of a playstyle of smarts as opposed to just brute force aggression. There's no problem with that. When I play customs and other maps that I'm super familiar with, I'm so much so the shift W kind of guy, peeking corners, throwing nades down hull and dorms. You know, there's no playstyle that's inherently bad, but this is just one, and we were talking about in chat, that you don't see often, where it's play quick when you need to play quick, slow when you need to play slow, move around the map, use map knowledge to your advantage, get behind them, end the fights before they begin, and if you don't feel like you can win a fight, retreat from it and reposition. So this really felt like everything I try to, teach in my videos or on my streams manifested in a raid where I was able to be on a map I'm not super comfortable with low visibility, still come out on top of the two-man, ditch my friend's gear, and get out super thick. So I hope this video helped. I hope that it maybe brought up some different type of play styles for you to try out, and that there's a whole world out there between Chad and Rat, and finding where you're most comfortable and where you have the most fun is really the most important thing. So hopefully maybe you can take some of these principles, go out, have fun, and start dropping more PMCs in Escape from Tarkov. Thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to check out this video. If you liked the video, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel for more content like this. I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say hey. And if you're looking for people to play Tarkov with, our Discord is an awesome place to be. That link is down below as well. Thank you again for stopping by, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one.